talking to business fans, we told you the beginning of the story, we've given you the middle, and then we gave you the cliffhanger. We got Casey Reeves up in the house with the future of OVW, let's be honest. I got it right this time. And we left off at that kind of the cliffhanger as you're showing up now on TV and you're part of Team Devin, but we really didn't get into the future of Casey Reeves because there's been this murmur going on in the OVW arena that maybe things aren't as tight with Team Devin. Maybe there could be possibly an issue with you and a former Talking the Business alumni, the most viewed Talking the Business alumni, Josh, until this is released, obviously, as we continue to grow, Josh Ashcraft. So, what is going on with Team... Let's start with that. What is going on with Team Devin? Is there a conflict that we need to know about?
I don't necessarily think there's a conflict in Team Devin. Team Devin...
Mm-hmm.
Team Devin is a tight running ship.
Okay.
The problem I see
Okay.
is that when Devin is around, and here's the thing, I respect wrestling, I respect the hierarchy of seniority, and I'm a good worker. And I got nothing but respect for Mr. Ashcraft.
Okay.
That being said, I don't know if anybody's been watching the television show lately, but what usually seems to happen when Devin Driscoll isn't around is that everything goes to shit. And why does everything go to shit there, Kevin?
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Mr. Ashcraft, the legal advisor for Team Devin.
Oh, he's the legal advisor?
That's what I consider him. Seems to have this way of not being in the best situation when this wrestler by the name of Big John comes into the ring. And when Big John comes to the ring, it's not him paying the price, but it's someone else paying the price. So let's get into this because we just had a show with Mr. Ashcraft and we had like a 5-minute discussion about lackey or bitch. And he called you his lackey as he teaches you the business of professional wrestling. And I wanted to give you this opportunity to respond to this conversation because it created quite a stir in the YouTube world.
It created quite a stir.
It created quite a stir. I mean, Part 3 is the most viewed TTV show as of this date.
And it's because you were talking about me.
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that as the fastest rising star in OVW. I mean, that definitely brought in some viewers. But I want to hear your response and give you an opportunity to discuss that conversation.
Okay, and I appreciate that. But let's make something pertinently clear. All right? I want to make something crystal clear. Josh Ashcraft does not sign my checks.
Who does sign your checks?
Devin Driscoll. If Josh Ashcraft signed my checks, where was I at the last Saturday Night Special Main Event? When it was Ashcraft and Rocco. Did you notice how I wasn't there as he fought Ryan?
Yes, I did. I did.
Yeah. That's because I'm not paid to work for Ashcraft.
Oh.
Team Devin. It's not Team Ashcraft. And I think Ashcraft has this idea because when Devin isn't gone, Devin has explicitly given us instructions that Josh is in charge. And I am to listen to Josh when Devin isn't around. So when Devin isn't around, I am under Ashcraft's steed. And hey, I'm going to listen to the guy signing my checks, right? Right? Wouldn't you?
I don't disagree. I listen to the man who signs my checks.
Here's the problem. And I've had enough Jim Beam to say it. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but every single time that Devin Driscoll isn't around, we don't wind up on top. because we are under the quote-unquote tutelage of Josh Ashcraft. And Josh Ashcraft seems to think antics that would pass in a Looney Tunes cartoon will pass off as actual strategy. That's not how strategy works, Josh. Oh, that's a great plan. That's a great plan. I'll talk to Big John while he's looking this way. Casey, you come up behind him and grab the belt. Why not this? I've got a baseball bat. I've got a fucking baseball bat. Why don't we just find John in the locker room when he's not expecting us, and I hit him with it repeatedly over and over, and we just take what is rightfully ours? No. We have to go out there and make a big scene and do the stupid Tom and Jerry bullshit that never has worked in the history of wrestling.
Now, I do want to say, hold on, it's never worked with War Machine. It's never worked with Mr. Chris Silvio. It didn't work at the Saturday Night Special because Rocco did not technically walk out with a title.
No.
I will state that fact.
And you know what? Maybe if you had a mind like mine on Team Ashcraft instead of Team Devin, Rocco would be the world champ right now. Unfortunately, you don't want a cerebral brain there. You want a guy like Josh Ashcraft who's more in it for Ashcraft than he is anything else. Here's the thing. Ashcraft and I have an unbelievable amount of common character traits. Okay, you're both assholes. We're both assholes, but here's the difference. Okay. And this is why I'm more dangerous than Ashcraft could ever hope to be. Me and Josh Ashcraft, we'd both kick a baby in the face to win a match.
Yes, you would.
The difference is Ashcraft is going to have to get his phone out and take a picture so he can show other people he kicked the baby in the face.
Ooh.
I don't care if people recognize the things I do because there's only one human being on the planet I'm trying to impress, and that's me. That's Casey Reeves. That's the kid that was born in piss and shit 15 years ago, and I don't have to prove anything to the world. I just have the world to prove to myself. Your perception of what happened doesn't actually change the reality of what is. And that is what fuels me. You see, I respect Devin Driscoll. So when Devin Driscoll tells me, listen to Josh Ashcraft, I'm a working man.
You're going to do what you got to do.
You
got to pay the bills.
You damn straight, I got a Montana work ethic. So I'm going to listen to Ashcraft's inane, and that's the only word for it is inane. And for those of you that don't read, I'm not mispronouncing insane. It's inane. His inane ideas of how to get the TV title back. No. I'll do what any respecting working man will do. Even if it means I keep getting chokeslammed and kicked in the face. But make no mistake, I don't get chokeslammed or kicked in the face when my actual boss, Devin Driscoll, is in the house. As a matter of fact,
you don't.
It seems like we win and we overcome. As a matter of fact, the only detriment in Team Devin I have seen is the quote-unquote strategic brilliance of Josh Ashcraft.
OVW fans, this has opened up a very big can of worms, and I think you're starting to see where Casey Reeves is going in the future.
I'm not Josh Ashcraft's lackey. I am not Josh Ashcraft's bitch. I haven't learned a damn thing from Josh Ashcraft besides how to help Josh Ashcraft.
So, Mr. Ashcraft, I know you're watching, because you always watch all the TTB material, and you're sitting there on Facebook all the time and on Twitter. This is pretty strong words to say. I mean, you've really put the nail in the coffin, maybe?
You are inhibiting an asset. You are inhibiting an asset. And that's not my fault. I'll do what I'm paid to do. But if the checks ever start running out, I feel sorry for you, Josh. And I think we've known each other long enough to where I can call you Josh. But I feel sorry for you. Because as soon as Devin stops paying them checks, your ego is going down. But make no mistake, this is not to say that Josh and I have a lot of differences. As a matter of fact, we both agree that the OVW universe is full of a bunch of tools.
And you know, it's funny that you say that, because we're going to break away from that, and we've got to talk about the future.
Oh.
And we've stated a couple times now on this show that you're the future of OVW. But saying that, you're really working the future of OVW. So let's talk about OVW's social media presence. And what's going on with that, because I'm hearing all these things going on. Web page and some new things coming to YouTube as OVW kind of reforms itself to a more modern product. So why don't you tell us, if we're an OVW fan, what can we expect to see in these coming months?
From what I've heard down the grapevine.
Okay.
And I can't confirm anything.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm not the guy working on the website or YouTube or anything, but what they've told us is to expect a greater online presence. Expect more fan interactivity. Is
that a good thing? I gotta break in, because I mean, some of these fans, Tammy, Virgil, Mitch, and the people hating, they comment on the show. They don't like you, Casey. There's a hatred there.
They don't like me?
That's what I'm hearing. They ask you for the show, but then they get on this thing called Facebook and they just kill you.
They kill me now.
They kill you.
Oh my God! Well, that'll be your little secret, Kevin.
Oh wow.
Because last I checked, they're just enthusiastic about the product.
They are.
Now, we're going to have a better social media presence. We have new YouTube shows on the way that focus on fan interaction.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm not a part of this. This is just what the powers that be have told me.
Mm-hmm. But it's important. It's
I
important to
think it
make
is
the
important.
product more modern.
OVW is coming into the 21st century after a 10-year delay.
Okay.
And the focus is going to be on getting the fans to be as much a part of the show as they possibly could be. Because that's what wrestling fans want. And here's the thing when it comes to the future of professional wrestling. There's a lot of outmoded ideas as to what will work. And I would like to consider myself a wrestling fan.
Okay.
I've always
I'm
been
a mark.
wrestling.
I can't say shit. So
I am a
please
mark.
go ahead.
I am a mark as well. And the second that I stop being a mark, I'm going to forget why I liked it in the first place, and therefore I'm going to be an idiot. Here's something that a lot of wrestling fans like to preach on. They like the idea that just make it like ECW or the Attitude Era was.
No.
Fuck that. Because that curtain has already been pulled.
Agreed.
The internet, reality television, because wrestling is the original reality show,
True.
but reality television is the future of professional wrestling, and I don't care what anybody else says. I'll give you a perfect example. A few years back, the girl I happened to be dating at the time, I'm watching Raw. She never watches wrestling, but somehow she knows what's going on in the women's match. You want to know why?
Total Divas.
She's watching Total Divas.
And I've got it. Mike Mills, I watched Total Divas too. We love Book of the Territory. You know I had to give you a shout out, brother. I'm always watching Total Divas. I have a wife. I have to. Please go ahead.
Get rid of Total Divas. Use the exact same format with all your mid and low card fucking WWE wrestlers, and have the same amount of Cena, Daniel Bryan, all the top tier guys. Every few episodes they come in from the heavens. Blah,
Most
blah, blah.
definitely.
You will have people that hate wrestling involved emotionally in the product. The future of wrestling is exactly what the past of wrestling was. We are the original reality show. Reality TV is the next big thing. It's not extreme sports like it was in the 90s. It's reality television.
Agreed.
You create a reality television show about your wrestling show, and then you can have whatever stupid storylines you want on your fucking wrestling show. Because people will watch the quote-unquote reality show, which everybody fucking buys into anyway, and they're going to believe in the product in the way the product was never conceived to make people believe.
And saying that, you're talking about somebody who watches Lucha Underground, and that's...
And Lucha Underground also works on the idea, but here's the problem. Lucha Underground is drawing back to the history of movies and Lucha Libre working
together, hand in hand, in a reality
Find an El Santo match on YouTube that isn't from a movie. Find an El Santo match on YouTube that isn't from a fucking movie. No, they work fucking hand in hand, and that's why Lucha Underground works for in and of itself and what it is and what it represents.
And we gotta give a shout out to the Kentucky boy, Ricochet. Oh, I'm sorry, Prince Puma, who is tearing it up there. He's fucking amazing.
God, I fucking love watching that guy.
You were talking about telling a story.
I mean, I can do anything that he wants to, I just don't feel like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just don't fucking feel like it. We could talk about it some more.
I'm going to let you go ahead.
It's up to you.
I'm going to let you go ahead. Go where you're going.
But we want to talk about the future, right?
Yes, we want to talk about the future.
But we're getting the axe here.
True.
So what do you want to do?
Future.
Future.
We can't talk about the future because what do the OVW fans... We know what we've seen so far, but what are we going to see?
Do we have enough time?
Sure, go for it.
What are we going to see?
What are we going to see from Casey Reeves?
I can't honestly tell you what we're going to see. I can tell you what I want you to see.
Okay,
I can tell you what I plan on. How much time do we have?
From my beautiful wife, we're saying we have at least 5-10 minutes, so go ahead.
I think that's time. We got at least 10
minutes.
That's
a big future, so please go ahead.
All right. Let me tell you where Casey Reeves was born. And this is a true story, and anybody that fucking wants to challenge me on it, bring it. Remember when I told you back in those days in those kids' homes and stuff, I saw a lot of terrible shit happen? Horrible shit. See, I was born Philip Early, and I hadn't been Philip Early in a good goddamn long time. See, back in one of these homes, they had a lot of very interesting ways to punish loud and boisterous use.
Good word.
They called it the bed. See, I was never a violent child. I never wanted to hurt people. Superman and Hulk Hogan were my fucking heroes, along with Sting. You know, I always tried to hang on to that because that sense of good is what made me hold on to myself. So when I would see staff and guards and such doing things they wouldn't do, I would speak up, and I would speak up very loudly, because I am known for speaking up loudly when what I see is injustice. And if you talk too loudly, they give you the bed. And you see, bed is a rubber and wooden table with 4 straps on it, 2 for your wrists and 2 for your ankles. And they put you on this bed face down, and they strap you to the bed. And you're not allowed to make a single noise. Literally, a single noise for 6 hours, i.e. how long the rest of their shift lasted so they could go home and not listen to me talk anymore. If you have to take a piss, can you hold it for 6 hours?
Not a chance.
If you have to take a shit, can you hold it for 6 hours? Am I awake for pissing and shitting myself on that bed? No, I'm human. At least what's left of me. And I'm lying stomach down, feeling that puddle inch higher up my chest, praying to fucking God it doesn't reach my mouth. And most times it wouldn't. Most times it wouldn't reach my mouth. around the fourth or fifth time, they decided to put me on this bed. And once again, like I would like to reiterate, I was not violent. I was vocal. I do not stand for injustice. I fought them. I tightened up my arms, I tightened up my legs, and I tightened up just enough to where when they left, this arm here, this beautiful right arm, was loose. And I unstrapped my right arm. Took me a while to unstrap my left arm and my legs, so long that I'd already pissed myself again. But I got them all unstrapped. And I stepped off the bed. And I walked through that door. And I walked right up to that fucking staff. And some people would have something very vindictive to say. Some people would have a lot of revenge planned on their mind, but my mind doesn't work like some people. My mind directed me to one path. You know what I told them, Kevin?
What's that?
Can I have a blanket? I'm cold. I'm cold.
OVW fans, you asked for a story. You wanted to know the story of the future of OVW. All Talk of the Business gave you was that story. The story of the Phoenix through the darkness. And that is truly the final chapter. So, this is the point where I step back and go, well, Casey Reeves is the future. How do I talk to Casey Reeves? How do I get in contact with Casey Reeves? If I'm a promoter that goes, I got $1 million contract today, I got to have this man. How do I get a hold of Casey Reeves?
You can find me at Facebook under Casey Reeves. You can find me on Twitter under one word, all smalls, Cowboy Venus. You can also just Google Old School Reunion, and I'm known as Keeson on the nerd webs, Keson, and I gotta give a shout out to Old School Reunion, OSR, all my nerd bros out there. I am not fucking hard to find, but I doubt any of you are ever gonna come fucking looking for me. So I'm gonna drink Jim Beam with my friends, and I'm gonna enjoy the moment while I have said moment.
It's real simple. You ask for it, we deliver. This has been a show you will never, ever forget. Look at that face, because it's the future. And it's only I can say, deuces.